Hello and welcome to It's Only Electric. It's time for another full review. This time it's about the new Peugeot E3008 built upon Stellantis' new STLA platform. It's a multi-purpose platform built for both combustion engines, hybrids, and as this one, fully electric cars. But how good is it? Let's start with the facts. The E3008 is a mid-size SUV measuring 4.5 meters with a wheelbase of 2.75 meters. It comes with two different battery packs. This one has a smaller pack with a gross capacity of 77 kilowatt hours and a net capacity of 73. It's a NMC pack. The curb weight is just about 2.2 tons. This is the front-wheel drive version, so it has a single motor here at the front axle, putting out 157 kilowatts or 214 horsepower, 335 newton meters of torque. 0 to 100 in 8.8 seconds and a top speed of 170 kilometers per hour. The wheels is 20-inch 245s 50s all around. In this case, Nordic studless winter tires, friction tires, Nokian Hakkapeliitta R5, so non-staggered setup. Aero-designed wheels with some plastic covers, at least two of those, and a asymmetric look. What do you think about them? Do you think it looks good? Is it too bold or does it fit the car? I love the boldness of the French exterior design here. I really think they have done something different, and it's hard not to see that this is a French car, a Peugeot in this case. I love the lion logo, the emblem of Peugeot, one of the best looking emblems on the market if you ask me. Ingaro blue color goes very well hand in hand with the black piano finish details, and it's kind of an aggressive, angry looking car, and this is like the claw marks, scratch marks from the lion, I guess. Daylight running lights going up in a flow to the headlight units at the top. Matrix LED lights gives us a good night image when driving in dark conditions, and I've tried it out and I think it works good. Here at the front we have a frontal facing bumper camera and a radar and some parking sensors spread out in the front area. There is no frunk in this car, that's sad. And you can tell that this is a CUV, not a SUV, by looking at the really aggressively sloping rear roofline. As you see, almost a hatchback look here, a very sporty looking air spoiler. Charge port is placed here at the left rear fender, a manual latch for opening that one. This is just two connector with a DC charge speed of up to 100 kilowatts, so 20 to 80% is stated to take 30 minutes. That means that 10 to 80% takes a bit longer, so around 40 or 45 minutes, depending on the charger. Home charging, AC charging, 3-phase support, 11 kilowatts. The stated WLTP range of this smaller battery pack is 510 kilowatts for this setup. If you go for the bigger pack, it's up to 700 kilometers. The rear end also looks sporty and modern. At the top we have this piano finish air spoiler combined with another air spoiler here on top of the lid. A black bar with the Peugeot logo connecting the two taillights. The taillights contain some 3D graphics, looks really good. On top of the Peugeot logo there is a hidden brake light, and lower down below in this black piano finish area there is a rear facing backup camera with a built-in washer. That's really neat. To be able to open the boot, you can't have sausage fingers, because if your fingers are too fat, you will have a hard time sticking them in between the two plastic parts here, because it's hidden underneath. And it's kind of slow, especially when you close it. And the last part here at the top, let me just show you that. It's closing very gentle. Let's open that again. So the total storage capacity is 520 liters, and that's with this compartment included. Tow capacity with a manual tow hitch is 1,250 kilograms. And the seats is possible to split into three parts, so 40, 20, 40. Really convenient if you want to load longer things and still have two rear passengers. a 12-volt outlet, and some grocery bag hooks around here, and hooks for securing your cargo, and a strap here for also securing a bottle or something like that. Two small side pockets, very small. I don't know what you could put over there, but it's probably mainly for securing cargo because they have two hidden hooks in those compartments too. Let's check out the front interior. Door closing sound. It's frame doors with big seals. Pretty solid sound as expected. It's not that like uber premium feeling, but it's still good. I mean, it's a solid build. And the design of the interior overall is bold and different, and in a good way. I mean, as a starter, the top here is soft touch, and there's kind of a multi-layer dashboard. In between the two layers or three layers, the first and the second layer, there is a built-in ambient lighting, so it's lit up from below and gives this area a really nice look and feel, especially during nighttime. It's kind of a patterned material, a clever solution. The second level of the instrument panel is covered in fabrics, so it's hard plastic covered in fabrics, and this is probably the smartest way of hiding hard plastics. I mean, it gives you a loungy, a living roomy feeling, kind of organic since it's fabrics, and at the same time you can keep the weight lower, also the cost lower, but most importantly the environmental impact will be less, because I mean, hard plastics is of course better for the environment to build because you don't need to layer it, and by covering it with this kind of fabrics, I mean, it makes total sense. And I wish that more manufacturers would go for this approach. On top of the second layer there is a big floating screen. It's actually one screen, not two, so the instrument cluster is combined with the central media screen. In total it's 21 inch, and this part is touchscreen, the instrument cluster is not. One thing that disturbs me a little bit is that the screen is actually leaning a bit downwards to the right. It is not totally straight, and the purpose of that is to follow the sloping dashboard. I mean, it looks good, but it's a bit annoying that it is not 100% straight. Underneath that part there is a cluster combining manual air ventilations, both on the left side of the steering wheel and two on the right side. The dry mode selector, the park button, and a start and stop engine button. Feels a bit old school to call it engine. In that cluster there is a small but wide screen. The purpose of that one is to put in shortcuts. So functions you use oftenly you can put up here. So this is customizable. For instance, application drawer, you can activate the panoramic camera. Not now currently. The ADAS shortcut, a home button. So this is customizable. What you do is that you long press it and it gives you the option to choose and pick your favorite function. So this is a clever way of using a small screen and to like enabling functions deep into the menus. Very nice. Underneath that there is a Qi charger. It's kind of hidden, but I still think it's good because it's easy to reach and it's big and it's always working, for me at least. And in front of that there is another control panel with physical buttons. So you have the defrosting functionality, you have the function for recirculating the air of the ACC, defrosting the rear windshield, and you have the AC on and off, max, min, etc. So this is all climate control functions. In front of that you have the dry mode selector. So here you can toggle the different dry modes. The hazard light button, very neatly integrated, it looks good. Volume knob, and also on power on and off the system, mute the sound. And the last part is the handbrake. To the right of that compartment there is a fourth level, and first off you see clearly that this is a spot for putting your phone, and underneath that you can actually open it and there is one USB-C port and one USB-A port, one 12-volt outlet, and some decent storage. So this is kind of a nice approach of creating like an interesting interior design. 2 adapter cup holders and a central armrest with storage, actually plenty of storage, a removable shelf, but the good thing is that they have a cooling feature here, so you can actually keep this area cool for storing cold beverages. There's other storage capabilities like a traditional glove box and pockets in the door sides, door trims, filtered and fairly good materials. The door sides are also multi-layered, so I have a cushioned armrest that's soft and nice, goes well hand in hand with the central armrest here, so a good driver position. The control panel for controlling the power windows and the power mirrors, the latch for opening the door, and again the fabrics with the ambient lighting design on top of that. Also the top part is soft and cushioned, so all in all the materials is really good. I mean, despite having hard plastics hidden in a good way, I think this is a different take on a interior, and it doesn't look like any other car. This is really unique and refreshing somewhat. That statement also goes for the steering wheel. It's a very small and sporty looking steering wheel with a flat top and flat down part, and the flatness is necessary because the screen is placed on top of the steering wheel. And this is where I struggle a bit, because this is a manual one, but I need to have it very low to the ground to be able to see the whole part of the instrument cluster. Otherwise it kind of covers the side of the screen, so you need to have it low. But it's a good looking steering wheel, and this is the piano finish buttons on both sides, the control areas. To the left we have everything concerning driver assistant functionality. To the right we have everything concerning media, voice control, phones, etc. In front of the steering wheel there is 2 stalks. To the left the lights, to the right the windshield wipers. In between the steering wheel and those there is 2 paddles. To the right is to decrease the regenerative braking. To the left you increase the regenerative braking. More about the regen soon. So the only downside I would say in the interior is the black piano finish, and I normally say this in all cars that uses that too much. I mean, it tends to get scratched. It looks really good, but it tends to get scratched and it's hard to keep clean. Otherwise, I think this is really, for this price class, a really good interior. And to the seats, this is the AJR premium seats, ergonomic seats with extendable thigh support, but lacking a bit angle. You can get the steepness of it, but then you sit too close to the floor, to the ground, and you lose some bit of a view on the bonnet and on the frontal part of the car, because the bonnet and the dashboard is fairly high up mounted, so you will lose some of that sight if you sit too close to the ground. And you have side bolsterings, and they are adjustable, so you can actually inflate and deflate it depending on how narrow you want the seat to be. Also comes with heating, cooling and massage. So you have all the bells and whistles. So these seats are really nice and comfy to travel long trips in. And for me that is fairly tall, I still get plenty of support, or enough of support, even for long trips. And to the back seat, and the front seat is adjusted after my driver position. I'm 193 centimeters tall, or 6'4". So let's start with the headroom, and the sloping roofline is one of the Achilles heels of this car when it comes to the interior space. I'm not able to stretch out and lean backwards because my head is clearly touching the headliner and the roof. And very strangely, there is a reading light placed like behind my head. That's a bit different. And when it comes to legroom, I'm possible to squeeze my feet underneath the front seat. But as you see, my knees are actually touching, or not even possible to have straight because I have it sideways to the sides of the front seat to be able to fit. So if you travel this way, it will be really hard to have like 3 people in the back seat. But my kids tried it out. They are 13. They had no problem whatsoever to fit here at the back seat. So depending on your lifestyle and your family situation, this still may be a good back seat. But for grown-ups, that's over 180, this will be too small. When it comes to quality, you have the same touch and feel and look of the rear bench as the front seats, so perforated seats. The 2 outer positions are heated and not ventilated, and you control the heating here from the central compartment. And there is 2 manual air ventilations and a 12-volt outlet, and 1 USB-C port and 1 USB-A port hidden underneath here, and a small pocket for like putting your phone whilst charging it. And whilst talking about storage, there is a net pocket here for storing things on the back of the front seats. And the seating position is what it is. I mean, it's a comfortable seat, it's well cushioned, it's soft and nice, but lacking thigh support, of course. You won't be able to adjust the angle of the back seats. And there is 3 separate headrests, adjustable height-wise, all of them. And here in the middle, I think we have a armrest, and now it gets really cramped because this is really touching my thigh. I have a hard time fitting here. The armrest is soft and wide. You can really rest your arms here. There's 2 adaptive cup holders, and in front of that, actually a tray for putting an iPad or a mobile phone if you want to watch movies together or something. So that's a very easy thing to add. I mean, all manufacturers should do the same thing. When it comes to the materials, the door sides are not as good as in the front. It's hard plastic. Everything is hard plastic. The only thing that's not hard plastic is the armrest, and that one is cushioned, so not the same premium feeling here at the back as in the front. This car is equipped with a sunroof, so it's openable, and it comes with a sunshade, so you can close it if you want to shade out the sun. It also comes with some built-in ambient lighting that follows the color scheme of the drive modes, etc. Because there is no ambient lighting here at the door sides. That's the only like feeling of ambient lighting you get here from the back. The sound system in this car is the premium sound system. The Focal premium sound system consists of 10 speakers, including 1 subwoofer, 690 watts. And this is a really good sound system. And I must say that they have put in a lot of time and effort to make the sound nice. And it's a warm sound system with no squeaks, no quirks, no vibrations. So the cabin seems to be well put together, and the sound system on top of that performs very good. And I have nothing direct to complain about because it plays good. And I like the tone of the sound. The details is good. The mids and the lows really plays high and gives you a good and warm sound image. So I would rather recommend you to go for the Focal sound system, because I think if sound is important for you, this is a great addition. Let's take it for a drive and see how it behaves on the road. It's a front-wheel drive car, so I don't expect it to be that sporty to drive. I mean, 2.2 tons with just about 200 horsepower is, it's enough. It doesn't feel slow, but it doesn't feel quick either. It's somewhere in the mids, and probably what you expect if you're going for a Peugeot. It's probably right in the middle. That beeping sound, by the way, is the speed warning assist. And what I usually do is that I put a shortcut to the ADAS system here in the shortcut screen. And from that point, you can deactivate the excessive speed warning function. But you need to press that and then confirm it. So it is not that easy, but this is the easiest way I could find to be able to turn that off. So 1 click, 2 clicks, and then 3 clicks to confirm it. So 3 clicks away, you will deactivate the excessive speed warning. But I must say that that particular noise it makes, the 3 beeps, it's more like a coconut hitting boop, boop, boop. I mean, for being a noise, it's nice. A noise, nice, noise. You get the thing. It's not disturbing. And you can easily like stand out having it activated, even if you, in some occasions, tend to drive a bit too fast. It will not annoy you that much. Let me just briefly talk about the software. I love the graphics. They have put in a lot of effort into the animations, the navigation in the menus, etc. Because everything comes with transitions. And when I go from one screen to another, as you saw here, it triggers animations and it looks really smooth, it looks really good. But it also adds some delay to everything. I mean, clicks is a bit more far-fetched, take a bit longer to load than just skipping that animation. I mean, that animation almost adds half a second or 1 second of delay between the navigation steps. But it looks really good. I mean, especially with this dark skin. I have not tried the light one, but it suits the cabin well in this design. And the screens as such are sharp enough. They work good during nighttime, but they also is well functioning during bright days. So a good layout, a good setup of the software. I have experienced a couple of bugs in the software regards the navigation, for instance, but also had one issue the other day. I have been driving this for a couple of days now, but I did a longer trip, and for the first 80 kilometers, the AC didn't heat the cabin. So it seems to be a glitch. So I needed to like stop the car, step out of the car, lock it, unlock it, and start it again. And then everything worked. So seems to be still some software issues regards this car in general. But I think that's more or less the thing. And it could be a bit smarter when it comes to some smart features. For instance, it, for some reason, keeps the seat heating on, even if there's no one sitting at the back. So the other day I turned that on, and today I actually discovered that they were still on. So they reactivate, and they also heat the seat, even if no one sits at the back. That's a bit strange. I mean, with software, with the sensors at the back, you can really turn those off because it's really wasting energy. So small things, small tunings will probably make the car more efficient and also a bit smarter, I mean, user-friendly. So to the drive modes. The drive mode selector, as I said, is placed here on the mid console, and there's 3 different drive modes: Eco, Normal, and Sport. So if we just try the different accelerations, so now in Eco, picks up, okay, and in Sport, the difference is really not that immediate. I think there is a slight delay in the acceleration and in the gain of power. Yeah, it's a bit more aggressive in sports mode compared to normal and eco, but the difference is not huge because I guess the limitation is still the limited power of 214 horsepower. It is not enough to give you that immediate punch because the car is a bit heavy. It's kind of a comfortable acceleration because it doesn't like give you all the power immediately. It builds up the power. It more or less mimics a combustion engine, so it slowly picks up and doesn't give you that immediate electric punchy feeling. And that goes for all drive modes. And when it comes to regenerative braking, it's totally decoupled from the drive modes. So you do adjust the regeneration with the pedals, the recuperation. So as I said, to the right you have the plus sign, and that's the one to lower recuperation, and there's 3 different levels. So now on the lowest level of recuperation, it's more or less coasting. It's not 100% coasting. It feels like it adds a little bit of charge or recuperation. I can see that on the screen too. It actually tells me that it adds a slight amount of regen. On the second level, of 3 available levels, it's fairly aggressive. I mean, it's a big difference, but it doesn't hit the maximum level. And on max level, which is active now, okay, then it hits the end. It's maximizing the regen. And it doesn't seem to apply brakes. It doesn't come to a full stop because it is not a one-pedal driving. So it keeps rolling at around 10 kilometers per hour. So that's sad. They could have been adding like the addition of brakes to be able to give you a one-pedal driving function. I think that would have made sense for this type of a car. And with software, together with the brakes, friction brakes, that should be possible. So that's the drive modes, 3 drive modes and 3 different regen levels. And it's a good thing though, is that it is very uncomplicated. There is not many settings and it's easy to understand. I mean, the regen overrides and works at all different drive modes and works the same way. And the drive modes, as I said, is only 3 to choose between, so they are easy to get used to, and I guess they fill their purpose. So let's push it a bit and see how it behaves. Let's see with understeers, brakes, it's pretty snappy, loses a bit of a grip, so it's for sure limited by the amount of torque and power at the front wheels. And when it comes to body roll, the suspension is fairly soft. It's a comfortable suspension on highways. Most of the times it works good. I did expect it to be a bit more sophisticated, especially in more stressed conditions, because on uneven surfaces, over potholes, over curbsides, on bad roads, it makes some missed sounds, and it also feels a bit stressed. It doesn't handle all the bumps that well. It almost gets a bit vibrating somehow. Yeah. When it comes to noise, it's a fairly comfortable ride. I get some road noise, especially on damped roads, coming from the lower parts of the doors. The door seals doesn't seem to be 100% sealed. I hear the wet road surface fairly clearly. Otherwise, when it comes to the window seals and overall dampening, feels okay. So it's time to summarize my experience, my view on the Peugeot E3008. I have been driving it for a couple of days. I did a long trip the other day to experience it a bit more, and the price point of it is 499,000 Swedish crowns. That's the entry-level price. This one is more or less fully equipped. It's like only missing all-wheel drive and the bigger battery pack, but it costs 629,000 Swedish crowns, and that's with the premium massage seats, leather, glass roof, the exterior color, the 20-inch rims, etc. 629,000 Swedish crowns, or 54,000 euros. So starting from 42,000 euros up to 55,000 euros for this pack. And I mean, that is not super cheap when you equip it, but you get a lot for that money. I mean, it's more or less fully fledged with all the bells and whistles you will ever need in this kind of a car. To some of the downsides though, as I mentioned, the AC stopped working or never started working when I did a long trip. So after 80 kilometers, I needed to stop because it was very cold inside the cabin, restart the car, exit, lock it, unlock it, jump in and continue driving. Then it actually started to work again. That seems to be a software glitch. Other than that, I have had some small bugs, but nothing like to complain about. So the overall experience is okay. So I think the main reasons to pick this car is the exterior design and the interior design. I mean, it's really a bold statement from Peugeot here. I mean, they have really been pushing it to create something different, something more exciting, especially on the interior. I mean, I think they have done something good. I like the layout of the screens. I like that they try to do something else, and I think it's functional. And I think equipment-wise, you can get everything you need. And when it comes to comfort, it's a fairly silent car. We will do a noise measurement, so stay tuned for that video. Also a range test. But you get okay amount of range. I mean, over 500 kilometers with a small battery pack. It's fairly efficient. In higher speeds though, it tends to eat up a bit more battery than other cars. And the suspension is a bit stressed in harsh conditions. But the biggest downside of this car, according to me, is the charging. First off, the charge rate of 100 kilowatts is way too slow for such a big battery pack, and it doesn't keep the speed all the way. I mean, that's kind of the peak power. So 10 to 80% is around 45 minutes if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, like me, in winter conditions or in conditions like this, it's just 4 or 5 degrees Celsius, there is no dedicated function for preconditioning the battery for optimizing the charging. It only seems to handle or keep the battery pack in a decent temperature to be able to like drive it efficiently, but not to charge it efficiently. That means that there is no way for you to preheat the battery. And that also means that you will not, or you will have a hard time hitting that top speed, especially at the beginning before the cells is heated up. And that's not good enough for a car in this price range. That's not good enough from Stellantis to release a new platform that doesn't give you the option to preheat the battery pack. And it doesn't even preheat the battery pack if you navigate to a charger. And that's strange. I mean, it's 2025. That should be standard in such a beautiful car. So what's your view on the Peugeot E3008? Is this your possible next car? Do you like it? What do you not like about the car? Share your thoughts, write in the comments below. Let us have a discussion. And please like, subscribe, and engage. And as I always say, stay electric. Thank you for watching. Speak to you soon.